Michael,
Yes, sir.
where'd you just come back from?
Just came
Where
back
did you just come back
from,
from?
yeah, man, I went to Wisconsin and Indiana. So I flew up to Wisconsin to Perlisten headquarters, spent the day with them, the CEO and his team. And then the next day we got up and headed to about 3 hours southeast of there to Indiana and visited a Perlisten home theater, did a tour on that. So super cool trip, man. Super cool trip.
And so what? Those per listens, they sounded okay, huh?
All right, man. It's
All
kind of like
right.
the equivalent of Sony,
The
maybe a little
square.
step up. Yeah.
Not as
My,
good as Flip Show.
is there a sticker on it? This is my first per listen.
Did they say Sony explode on them?
Yeah. Nah, man.
Explode.
It was fantastic. So we started off filming, and like he gave us the tour, and then we started filming and everything. And then like halfway through it, we're like, oh shoot, we haven't even heard them, man. Let's go sit down and listen. So I'm like, okay, cool. Put the camera down, sat down, and started off with just some real low kind of music. I'm like, man, those sound just really smooth. I like them. But the volume was a lot, lower than I typically listen to it.
Uh,
And but the bass was super smooth. There was dual tens, so those are some new ones that they're coming out with. And I say dual because there's a front firing 10 and there's a down firing 10, and those are in a push pull configuration. Super low distortion. But I'm thinking, 10-inch. And this room is huge. So we're talking probably 23 feet deep, and the ceiling is 23 feet high. Because it's it's kind of like in a, I don't know how you explain it, but not a warehouse, but that kind of facility. But they've kind of made the entryway almost like a storefront in a way.
Okay.
And so there's like a living room right as you walk in, and to the right of that is two desks where they've got, they kind of operate from. And and then, but this living room, you look up and it's 23 feet high ceiling. And I'm thinking,
that's why they needed this Dominus rating, because they
right.
just needed it to fill up a 23-foot tall room.
So I'm like, okay, so he changes the song, he gets a little bit, higher volume. I'm like, that's cool. I like that, man. It sounds really good. He played this one track, and I'll have to look up like all of them. Actually, when I make the video, I'll just put like links to the songs that we use, because I screenshotted it and Shazammed them and everything. And I'm like, I got to check that out on my system. But there was one where they were just playing drums, and it was just real acoustic, very, very detailed. Definitely like that. The drums sounded like just super, almost like literally like you were there, very accurate. And then he's like, now this one's going to have a little bit of bass in it. And so he turns it up, and I'm like, okay. And it starts off kind of, no bass at all. Then all of a sudden, man, out of stinking nowhere, bam! I looked at Tim. So Tim Perry, if you're in here, big shout out to him.
Yeah, he's here.
Tim picked me up at the airport. We hung out for about an hour and a half on the way there. And I'm like, Tim, man, you can just stay with us and hang out. So he got a chance to kind of see the behind the scenes of YouTube and what that looks like, making videos. But he's sitting next to me on the couch, and I just looked at him with a big old stinking grin, like, you got to be kidding me, man. Was not expecting that at all. I'm like, holy cow.
See, you don't need the descriptive words. Before this, you're kind of describing. You're like, oh, I don't know how to. I'm like, describe it. I'm like, you're like, I don't do that.
Like
all
angels,
I needed to see was your smile.
Angels
how
chirping through the
yeah,
night
literally,
sky.
that literally is what happened. I was like, oh my goodness, man. See, it was crazy.
Sometimes you get like a little half smile.
Yeah.
And then if it's a full on all the teeth smile, then you know it's good. So how big were these 10? Because 10s sound like 10s. Dominus 10s? What's going on? So how big was the enclosure?
The size? I mean, you're probably talking about what?
Well, how about compared to some of the other subs we've...
Like 14 inches high, maybe?
So was it like
Something
the
like
like
16 inches, maybe? I don't know.
Like that, like the Monolith 12? Like
maybe.
a box that big?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like massive size. I mean, it was decent size, but it's not massive. Well, I guess it's got to be pretty big, because think about it, you got a down firing 10 and then you got a front firing 10.
Right.
So
interesting.
I stink at measurements, so
yeah.
But
so,
it wasn't like massive box by any means. Now,
so
because
not
you
like
can see
the THX13. That's, to me, that was a pretty big box. The monolith.
Yeah. I don't. Gosh, man. I don't know, Tim. Let him know.
Well, you're
maybe he measured
a huge box.
Like when you stood up next to it.
It wasn't massive.
Did it go like waist high?
I'll tell you what. Let me see. Hang on a second. Tim sent me a picture. Let's see. Okay. You'll be able to.
He also has the track on here, Bjork Hollow 16-bit remix.
Yes. Holy crap.
You guys ever seen Bjork perform?
All right. So this will give you an idea. I don't know if you guys can see that.
So, like, you could
Where's
sit down
the
on
sub?
The sub's right behind me.
It's behind you. Great. I got to look at your crotch. What's going on?
Yeah, man. You see that? We'll get it right in there.
Right in between the crotch.
Yeah, keep zooming in.
Let's see.
So Tim says 16 to 17 inches high, I guess.
Okay. So I said
that doesn't
16.
sound very big at all.
It's not massive by any means.
16 to 17 inches high.
Oh, for a subwoofer, that's not that big. I was like, that's
I mean,
huge.
that sounds tiny. That doesn't sound right.
Well,
16 inches high is like
so that's again, that's in comparison.
Yeah, maybe like 20 inches high.
So the subwoofer's probably close to the size of that
18,
monitor.
20.
Nice gloss black finish that's going to shine right through.
Oh,
hey,
hated it.
They have custom finishes, bro.
Yeah.
But wow, so that's kind of exciting,
dude. I'm serious, man. And here was the cool thing too. Look at that. You see what I did there? Cool thing.
Ooh,
it was -8 when I landed.
Oof.
Damn.
Yeah. It was.
Tim just out there freezing with a youth man sign.
That's awesome, dude. But yeah, man. So they had this speaker in the middle. This thing was now it wasn't hooked up or anything. So that was dual 15, no, dual 12. I don't know. Dual 12, dual 15. I think it's dual 15s. But that one, it literally was. They said that's our furniture. It was a concept that they wanted to do. I think they said slotted port. So it had like this long path on the inside, but it's just not where they want it to be. So they're not going to release it. Their standards are super, super high. They received 21 Dominus certified or certifications for their products. Yeah, like each one of their products reached Dominus. Hard. And the cool thing is they had don't be talking over me, man.
Oh, yeah, no, whoever that was.
So the cool thing, what they explained to me is that all of their speakers are timbre matched. And for most people, that just means like using the same drivers. They're talking about like the same exact like measurement kind of stuff, so that they're pretty much a replication of each speaker. You just get more like volume and SPL. So all they do is scale it up. So when they make a subwoofer that's 10 inches, it's not like that's a sacrificed, well, we cut some corners to get it into a 10-inch box. No, they started with the 10 and they scale it up to the dual 15s. And so you just get more output, more volume, more punch, more pack, and that sort of thing. So yeah.
No,
hold on. Before you move, show everybody.
I mean, it's like the amp. Very expensive, right?
The amp.
What's that?
The amp that they were powered by. The two amps.
So, yeah, dude. So those are beasts, man. That's some little. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have saw some of these. So that's some monoblocks there.
Macintosh.
Yeah, those are MC601s.
Yeah, so they're like $15,000 a piece.
Yeah,
powering each one of the monitors, and then above that was Auralic, AURALIC. So there was, so they had a streamer up top, and then a like a preamp below that, and then the silver one in the middle was PS Audio. So nah, I don't.
Very cool, man.
But man, it was fun, dude.
How did how did the speakers sound? Because Aaron, you've got to check out some of the speakers.
Yeah. The bookshelf, which are ridiculously large for a bookshelf speaker.
They should call them stand mounters, not bookshelves,
really
right?
It's not a bookshelf speaker. Yeah.
So,
like, what kind of shelf can I put a book this big?
All right. So what did you hear, Michael? Because I know, Aaron, you already have a review of those.
Yeah.
So you were saying it did some stuff, some stuff.
The one thing that I thought was really cool is even at really low volumes, there was just a lot of detail you know, they didn't have to crank them up real loud. And I'm like, I'm hearing every little note, every little piece of instrument, every little brush of, you know, whether it's a guitar or whatever. And I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Because some speakers, you got to like really crank them up to get that out of them. And these you didn't. And, you know, maybe that's part of the Macintosh. Maybe that's the Orlick that's helping them. Maybe it's a combination of everything.
Cables, bro. It's the cables.
I think they were using Kimber cables.
I think so. I think they were using mica cables.
Yeah. Monoprice? I don't remember.
They're just using lamp cord.
Amazon cables.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
Affiliate link helps us earn a small commission.
PS Audio was the weak link in the chain.
Well, actually, they didn't have that in the chain, so that was just there. They said
they're like, that's old.
They said sometimes, they said sometimes they use that, but they had the Orlick, those 2 units hooked up, and then the monoblocks, and so it was just a 2.2 system. The TV was there just for like they were using Rune, which that was kind of cool.
Okay.
I guess Rune pulls all of those services together, like Tidal, Qobuz, Spotify, and so you can just pull it through your phone and everything. So, so that was super cool. It was a great experience, and kind of more importantly, like literally. And I told them, I said, speaker and gear and all that stuff's fun, and I love it. I'm like a kid in a candy store kind of thing, or a kid at Christmas. But just getting to know homeowners, getting to know people from, you know, companies, you just find out they're regular dudes, man. I mean, they're super smart. Don't get me wrong. I was definitely not the smartest guy in the room. I was okay with that, you know, but at the end of the day, dude, they like to eat pizza. They have families. They got three dogs that were in a lot of the videos. It was pretty funny. You know, they didn't try to impress nobody. It was just, you know, they just happened to own a company. And so it was just really, really cool, man. Super down to earth. But so it'll be a little bit before we get those videos out. So it'll probably be, I think they're shooting for like February. I mean, February, end of February. So it might be a little bit just marketing wise. They want to kind of wait on that. So
how was the sound stage? Juan asked.
How was the sound? See that?
Or how about this? Did you notice the speakers were in the room?
No, and all blended together. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I never once went, oh man, those subs, you know, I'm looking at them. It's just a seamless sound. And again, one thing I thought was kind of interesting when you look at the picture and even the video, you're going to be like, man, they really don't have any acoustic treatment in here. And they know it. It's not.
Oh, really?
It's not an ideal setup. And they know that because they're not even like finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just kind of, this is a work in progress. They're trying to make product right now and they're developing product. That's kind of where their focus is. Nobody's showing up to Perlisten headquarters going, hey, can I get a demo?
Yeah.
Except for me.
Except for
except for the YouTube guy.
Yeah. You know, so it's not a makeshift, but it's not a finished either.
Sure.
But honestly, it was like, wow, this is really, really nice. You know, so in a, you know, room that's controlled, a room that has a ceiling, a room that it has proper acoustic treatment, dude, I can't imagine, you know, so, but it's pretty cool, man.
And
awesome.
And on top of that, you add in Joe's Magic Bean settings.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
And then
Well,
sober.
I was about to make a joke. Like, imagine if if you have some good speakers, you're good.
Yeah, but I think a lot of their speakers are kind of like, I mean, they're pretty up there, $6,000, $7,000, $9,000. So they're definitely above the youth man budget. I appreciate that, man. Thanks, Tristan.
And the dogs too, right? Dogs were $10,000.
They were cool. Sadly, one of the dogs has cancer.
Oh,
yeah. So he's kind of gimping around, but he was so sweet, you know. But we just let the dogs be in the videos, and it's a totally different vibe. It's not one of them stuffy promo kind of things. It was me genuinely asking questions about their products and kind of how it all came about. We get to tell their story, which I think is really, really cool. So I think it's gonna be really fun. I think people will really enjoy it. So definitely look for that on the channel. And
cool. Is it another 2-hour-long video, or is it something that
I haven't even
can sit in one sitting?
I think the home theater tour is probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe, but it's not. I don't think it's that long.
Picked up by Netflix soon.
Hey,
This
man.
whole episodes, you know.
I know, right?